Homemade pasta. You and your kids can bring Italy right into your own kitchen using 3 simple ingredients. 1 egg, a cup of flour, and a tablespoon of water. First, have the kids dump the cup of flour onto a breadboard and then make a volcano shape. The kids can start stirring the egg, but make sure as they're scrambling it that they don't let it go outside of their volcano walls. I'm going to add a tablespoon of water and swish it around, and they'll just have a ball making this. The only thing is they might want to get a little out of control and fling it around. But this is one of those activities where they need to have a lot of control. So tell them to keep bringing in the flour as you go around. It reminds me of a story my friend Darcy told me the other day when she was talking about memories of raising her kids. Her daughter was about 3 years old. She was in the kitchen and she dumped a 5-pound bag of flour all over the floor. When Darcy came in, she said, I really couldn't get mad at her. She was lying on the floor making angels in the flour and having the time of her life. So she said, I just decided to join her. And she said she took lots of pictures. And of course, that's her childhood memory for her daughter. Okay, when this is just about in a complete consistency with the flour and the egg and water, just make sure you get all the flour mixed in with the egg. You can start putting it into your hands and making a ball, and you'll want to knead it a little bit. It doesn't take too long. The kids can play with this like they do their play clay. And then when it's soft as a little baby's bottom, it's ready to roll out on your breadboard. I sprinkle a little flour on it first, and they can roll it out with a rolling pin. And now comes the creative part. This is when they can make all those fancy shapes, you know, linguine, spaghetti, lasagna. Use a simple pizza cutter. We all have these hanging around in the drawer. And they can just go right down like so. And look, it's just like the kind you find in those gourmet cooking shops. And what I think is great is if this is the first time you've done it with your kids, they'll be quite surprised because they're so used to buying spaghetti and linguine in those packages at the grocery store. But this is the real thing. You can put it into a pot of boiling water, cook it for about 3 or 4 minutes. Or, this is really fun, have the kids do any fancy shapes they want, and they can add it to a pot of soup. Just making it any which way. Of course, kids come up with their own designs. They might even want to do some little alphabet letters. But when it's all done, help them plop it into the pot of soup. And this is just cooking with some wonderful broth and vegetables. And let that simmer, cook for about 3 or 4 minutes. It smells great. Soup's on.